So I had another bizarre dream last night. Um, my children and I were in the dream, and we were out at a what looked like a ranch type place. Um, it's hard to explain, but there was like a seating area that was like somewhat indoors, somewhat outdoors, with like a rustic country look. Um, I'm sure that there were lots of people on the property. That's just the kind of vibe that I got. But the main characters that were prevalent made themselves known in the dream. So there was this one woman that gave off like this high priestess energy, and she was a little bit off in the distance. She was very tall, slender. I'd say she was around 6 foot tall. She had short hair, short, dark hair. And for some reason in the dream, I viewed her not as an enemy or an ally, but more like a worthy opponent. And I knew that she was in my soon to be ex-husband's energy. Well, see, I don't know. It's a little bit confusing how the dream goes because I am currently in separation from my husband. I have like applied for a divorce and everything. But he was also in my dream. And I believe that this high priestess type woman did have relations with my husband. And but yeah, as I said, she was a little bit off in the distance. And I was in like the breakfast nook area with my children, about to like feed them breakfast, and my husband was there, and he was sitting there, and he was like, he felt like a little bit sad, like just like the energy that he gave off. And he was going to have breakfast too. And he had this bottle of maple syrup, and I had taken it from him to use it. And the bottle of maple syrup had shards of broken glass inside of it, like big shards of broken glass. And I noticed it, and I stopped and like before I consumed it, and I let him know as well. I'm like, is someone trying to poison us? Like, what is this? Like, why are there shards of broken glass in the maple syrup? Like, is someone trying to kill us, like to make us swallow the broken glass? And so we didn't consume the syrup. At least I don't think we did. I don't know if he did. And then I noticed there was these women that were of a lower class. You could tell just by the way that they carried themselves, they conducted themselves. So they didn't carry themselves at all. They were sitting in a row on the floor, looking strung out, either on drugs or alcohol. They were in very skimpy, skanky clothes. They were all wearing like dark clothes, but like very provocative, but like somewhat like a little bit gothy as well, but super slutty all the same. And their clothes were like a bit ripped and stuff. Like they just looked trashy. Like they looked like they've been like partying hard for days, and like they're just like coming down like zombie mode, whatever. So there was like three or four of them all sitting on a row on the floor, like against like the back wall. And I could tell like that was my husband's skank army. And I was just sitting in there, and like I went and comforted my husband. And like even though I knew like there was like just so much bullshit and chaos and ugliness going on around, and like he had done so much like dumb shit, and like it was all so very hurtful and painful, like everything I was finding out, but I still felt the need to like comfort him in some way and like reassure him, even though that I knew he was just as guilty a party as like his skank army, and that, high priestess off in the distance. Like, yeah, it was strange. I'm not really sure what it means, but opening it up once again to people's interpretation, any dream interpreters.